Well, the bumper, I've just picked it up from the sandblasters. Now do note, I'm not going to use re-chromed simply because I can't afford it at the moment. And my intention is, now that I've had them blasted on the inside, give it a bit of a clean up with a rag or two and some brake cleaner, and then paint it with my Pour 15. If you're wondering why there's surround wrap on it, I want to keep it fresh. Haha, quite literally, and also it means I can take the top off, which often sticks. My personal preference is to use these brushes. They're disposable, that way you don't have to waste time cleaning up. And on the inside of the bumper, it really doesn't matter that much. Blue tape is where the holes are. This is where the badge goes. This is where the overriders go. That way the paint won't come through and start dribbling everywhere, and then more cleanup. This bumper, the rear one, I'm afraid is not going to come up very well. I will do my damnedest on it, but I think it'll probably all end up looking like this. I'll be able to get these down a little bit, but not much. I'll get a buffing pad and an electric drill, and we'll see how it goes, but I really don't hold out much hope that it's going to be much better than it is now. So let's flip her over and have a look on the other side. And unfortunately, once again, expecting someone to do their job is obviously asking way too much. Now, you know, the rusty bit there, alright, fine, but see here, the paint that hasn't been taken off, more paint here that hasn't been taken off, here that hasn't been taken off, all in here that hasn't been taken off, and in here that hasn't been taken off. These bloody people can't do their job. Now, Section 8 powder coating, they're great at powder coating, but the owner, who is the guy that I believe does the powder coating, doesn't do the blasting. That's down to, I want to say, his staff. He has one person working for him. Very pleasant person, but obviously no attention to detail. Such a shame. Alright, let me get this cleaned up and rust treated. Okay, we're slowly getting this off. There are places where it's so awkward to get to that I'll just attack it with a chisel and get it off the best I can. Then once I've done that, we will give it some evaporust, just to try and neutralize the rust that's there now that I've just had it blasted. And then after that, it's the red paint. So on with the evaporust. Okay, now cleaned it up and evaporusted it all. I'll leave this overnight now to let the evaporust do its shit, and then tomorrow we will give it a lick of paint. But I will tell you now, prior to that, I'm going to tape up all the edges. It just saves a lot of hassle, and it means I can get the paint right up close to the edge where I want it. So for the sake of a few minutes with some blue tape, it's worth it. Back tomorrow. Here it is, ready for the paint. Cleaned it up as far as I'm going to. I've got to cover that in tape. I haven't done that yet. As you can see, I've taped the rest of it. And whilst you're sitting there saying, well, what'd you do that for? You know, because they're old and, you know, they ain't going to be perfect anyway. No, but I know. It's that old one. We all know, don't we? It's the way we are with our babies. We like to do things right. And if not, then don't do it. Give it to someone else to do. Let them do it right for you. Okay. So, let's get that taped up and get painting. First coat is done. Yes, and you can see there are lots of holidays. And also a lot of, you know, in these places I need to get to. So I'm going to let this dry overnight. And then I will give it a second coat, but prior, and a few runs there. I'm not worried about that at the moment. It's not something I'm going for perfection, but I will get on the insides there where you can see I haven't got any paint at all. Get that done, and wait until this is dried, which probably won't be until tomorrow morning. The fumes are actually quite strong, so I'm going to have to open up the garage door, because she that must be obeyed will bitch otherwise. So there you go. Nothing much more than that. I will do a finished article when the paint is completed and the other side is polished. That'll be a few seconds for you and a few days for me. Okay, this is the front bumper. Yep, first coat. Don't critique me yet until I tell you it's the second coat and it's perfection. Long way to go. Guys, this is not a 5-minute job. Do I need to do it red inside? Of course I fucking don't. That's my choice. You decide what you want to do. How you want your baby to look on the inside. A lot of people do silver on the inside, and that's fine. These bumpers, unfortunately, will not be re-chromed for many years, and they'll probably be dead before it happens, which is a fucking great shame. But there you go. There you go. So, we're going to leave this here. I'll bring you back when it's all done and pretty. All right. Give me a second here. Where's that brush? Sorry, I just threw my brush away because too much effort to clean them. But I see a run. Now, I don't care about the odd little run or two in the back of my bumper here. What I do care about is trying to make sure I get it covered in paint to stop it from rusting any further. Now, whether that is something I will deal with at a later date, goodbye brush, or the next owner is another matter. I would like to get these re-chromed, but I've got a feeling that's going to be bloody expensive. So for the moment, painted on the inside with good old Pour 15 red, same colour as my car. My car is signal red. Yeah, I asked for Carmen, they did signal. I'm not going to complain because signal is perfectly fine. So there you go. That's it now. This one's painted. The other one, let me take you for a walk. The other one, yeah, there's a front and a back. There you go. This is the front bumper. As you can see, I've done the same there. Looking pretty good. And over here, the same with the Pour 15 here. I'm not after perfection here, I must admit. I'm after decent coverage, which I believe I have, and we're done. Okay, what can I say here? This is probably a pretty boring one for most of you guys, but I'm going to push it out anyway because I like pushing things out. And for those of you that were interested in my Corvette, my baby has been sold. Sad, but well, it's what happens. I put her up for sale, and a nice guy in Dallas has decided he would like it, even though I only advertised it on my local Craigslist. He decided that this was the thing for him, and he's getting a great car. And you know, I'm not trying to, well, I can't bullshit him now. He's already sent me the money, and the car will be going, what's today? Today's Thursday. So come Monday, a car company will come and pick it up and take it away from me, which is rather sad, I must admit. I will shed a tear I like this car. I don't want it to go, but this baby here is a money whore. Yes, you. So, go do what you gotta do. All right, now, you know the story. Get in the garage, do some shit.